Hi guys, this is US Programming with another C tutorial. In this one, I'll be covering functions, as I said in the last video, maybe. Um, so first, I want to start off with how if you know any algebra, I'll start off with how functions are defined there. So if you've ever taken algebra before, you know that a function basically it takes an input value like an independent variable, and it gives you another variable, another value. So like let's say you have f of x equals x squared. Excuse my terrible painting skills with a mouse. So let's say if you give it 1 as x, so if x equals 1, or actually no, that's a terrible example. If x equals 2, then f of x, or f of 2, equals 2 squared equals 4. Equals 4. So basically what you're saying is if you give it 2, then you get 4. So in programming terms, you're saying its argument is 2, and and its return value is 4. And so we're just it's just being redefined. So the names, normally you would call this what, maybe an input variable, and then you would call this the output, or the y, the f of x. And so we're just changing the names of some things because the programming definition expands a little bit, expands on the mathematical definition a little bit. So if I in programming, a function need not have arguments. So it could be like f of nothing equals 1. So you could have functions that take no arguments and give you back something, or there could be functions that take an argument, but don't give you back anything, or there could be functions that don't take anything and don't give you back anything either. So this type of function is basically it's just a series of steps. It's just a series of statements. So it just does something unrelated, and it doesn't need any information from you, the programmer, to do those statements. It just gives you back something. This kind of function, what it does is it takes a bunch of it takes an argument. So it needs information from you to do what it needs to do, but it thinks that you don't need any information back. So therefore it doesn't give you back a value. So it doesn't have a return value if you want to use the programming terminology. This one, it's just a series of steps that it does. It doesn't need anything from you. It doesn't need to give anything back. So this is basically just a bundle of stuff that it can do. So like a function, maybe the only function that's necessary in a C program is the main function. So the main function is special because when you start your program, it automatically gets called. You could easily make other functions and call them. Like I could do a function yeah, like this. Just define a function right here. Sorry for the silence, but so I just made a function right there. So this is its own separate function, and this does not get called automatically. So this isn't even necessary. The program will still compile without this, but this program will never compile unless you have a main function, because the main is where the operating system starts your program. And this word main, that is critical. It has to be spelled exactly like this, MAIN. It can't be like, you can't name it something else like start. It can't be let's say it can't even be MAIN because C is case sensitive. So it has to be like this. if so basically this is the general structure of making a function. It starts with int and then main void. So if you can this sort of looks like what a function would look like in uh in a math context. So it has a name, then inside the parentheses it has arguments. So this word void just indicates that it doesn't have arguments. This word int at the beginning indicates that it will give back a value, and so it will return a value. See, since it's int, that means that the value that it gives back will be an integer, and we'll talk more about types later. But yeah. So that's what this line return 0 does. It just specifies that it will give back a value of 0. So we'll talk more about main's return value in future videos when we have situations where the program may terminate unsuccessfully. And so yeah, that basically sums it up for this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See you in the next video where I guess we might talk about comments or something. See you guys in the next video.